Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hangin with Hobo Live. And tonight is going to be a very special event because it's going to be strictly a salute to Roly and to the Roly Nation and to Leo Q and to Dimitri. And I'm not going to say his last name because I will ruin it. So last week, a surprise was sprung on all of us that Rolley was going to be shuttering, closing shop. And it was a real downer. And so a lot of things have come to pass and have transpired. And so we're going to this video, this stream is going to be both a thank you, a salute to Leo and crew, and a call to action. It's a call to action out there to everyone who already has a Roly and to anybody who is even thinking about getting a Roly to stop thinking about it. And now is the time to pull the trigger. Now, yes, they're closing shop, but now if you haven't bought one, now's the time to do it. And this stream is not going to be monetized. So if you're not able to watch it in its entirety, but you do want to go back and watch it, there'll be no ads in this stream. I'm not capitalizing or monetizing it in any way. I'm going to be directing you to go to the Rolley automation page to make your purchases when you do, because a lot of you are going to go and make those purchases. You do not need to use, and I don't want you to use, my referral link. Just go straight to the rolleyautomation.com page. In fact, let's put that up here now. Media assets, banners, Rolley automation. So that's where you need to go when you're ready to buy something. And I'm going to tell you why you need to buy it here in a minute. I've sent some invites out to some few folks, and they may be popping in, in and out a little bit. And after I explain to you why and show you, because there's a few things on the website that I only was made aware of in the past 24 to 36 hours that I want to show you, because when I looked at them, I was like, oh, man, some of it's a little bit hasn't been updated. And so I'm going to show you what to look for, where to look for. And some of you had mentioned that they were already gone in the UK, or you maybe didn't have any inventory left. Well, after I show you this, you might want to go look again, because some of it's a little bit deceiving. But first, before we do that, I've now been, I'm in my third year of working with diode lasers, and I've got the CO2 over there. But in my very first few months of working with diodes, I struggled with a inferior product that really drove me batty, was very problematic, had lots of issues. And when you're working with an inferior product and you don't know what you're doing, problems get compounded. All right. So when this was introduced to me, the Roly, it was mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing at the amount of engineering, the quality, the precision of a desktop diode laser. I had not seen anything like it. And by the time I'd seen this, I'd already gone through a dozen different lasers. So as long as my Roly has a heartbeat, I'm going to be using that as my primary laser. And I will be making additional purchases while they're available to try and ensure that my Roly is up and running for as long as possible. And I'm telling you that now is the time to take advantage of this particular purchasing opportunity. Leo has decided to close the business, and it's because of health reasons within friends and family and loved ones. And it's caused him to rethink his priorities in life and what's important right now. And when you're developing a business, especially something that's as technical and as advanced as these lasers, and technology is always changing, it's always moving, and the competitors are always trying to one up you. I imagine he was probably putting in 100+ hours a week just trying to maintain. And when life sticks its ugly head up sometimes and says, hey, yeah, that's great, but that's not what's important, you refocus and you rethink. And that's what he's had to do. And I can relate to him on a personal level with this business decision. These types of decisions are not made lightly, especially when you are considered by many to be the best of the best in your arena, in the laser community. And then to make the decision that, you know what, we're going to stop this right now. That doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't come easy. And I apologize to any of you who have heard this before, but I want to convey it to those who haven't heard it. I was in the exact same boat. My dad started a business in 1979 and it was really good and really popular. It took over my life in 2008 and I ran it from 2008 until 2019 when I personally had heart attacks and strokes and physically couldn't do it any longer. And I was faced with two decisions. I could try and let someone else run the business and then trust that they're going to do it to my standards and maintain my level of expectancy with customer service, and protecting the company's name and reputation, or sell the business. And then if I sell the business and the name, then what might that new owner do with the name and reputation? And then the third option there was just close up. And because we were up here, we were the cream of the crop. Everybody came to us for their service. I didn't want to tarnish that. I didn't want to tarnish that legacy. So the decision was to close up. And that's, shortly after, that Hobo with Wood was born out of boredom. This come to be because I was sitting at home with nothing to do and had to find something. And here we are. But that decision did not come easily because there were many, many factors and many people involved in it. You've got employees who are depending on you. What are you going to do? What does your future for you look like? But when it comes to health, loved ones, family, all those things become diminished greatly. All right. So it was not a decision that I'm sure he made it very easily or lightly. He probably pondered it for a while. And I assure you, we've not seen the last of Leo Q. He is an extremely intelligent young man with lots of drive and lots of ideas and designs. He'll be back. Lord willing, he'll be back. And I'm grateful to say that I know Leo Q and that I have been able to work with him and be involved in this journey. Now, he has decided to stop production and no longer make lasers, but just like I was, he has a surplus of inventory. He's got lots of lasers out there, and he's decided to maintain those and warranty those lasers. Anything that's bought will be warranted for an entire year after purchase, just like it would be if the Rolley was open. There'll be a little bit of online support shortly, for a short period of time, he said, and then it will eventually transition to all email support. So the customer support is going to be a little less than what it has been. But if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And there's a lot of us out here in the Roly Nation that will be more than happy to help when and if we can. There's some of us who are not going to turn their back on the Roly Nation. We're going to continue to be, Roly through and through. So the thing that he's wanting to do, he's closed shop and he's wanting to sell this off and then warranty the product for a year after service. Well, I also recognize from being in his shoes, when you've made that decision to close up, you really want to get it done as quick as possible. So he's discounted the prices on his lasers and his inventory to get that inventory done and gone. And as soon as that last laser is sold, or he's considered he's done with it, and if he's got only a few left, maybe he can take those and use them for parts and service pieces as needed. But when he decides, okay, I'm done, now he can be officially done with sales. And all he has to do, once that last laser is sold, he knows 1 year from that date, when that warranty's up, he can now no longer be stressed with anything going on except for what he needs to deal with in his personal life. And that's his goal, right? So my call to action to you is, let's make that day come as fast as possible. If you've been on the fence, if you've been drooling over these lasers, quit drooling, go buy it, put it on your credit card and pay for it over 3 months, finance it for 90 days to yourself. If you have a Roly and you need spare parts, it might actually be cheaper to buy another Roly than it is to buy the pieces. And we're going to look at that here in just a second. So stop thinking about it. There's no reason to not purchase it just because he's closing shop. He's going to take care of the product and he's going to warranty the product. And it's a discounted price. And let's go over and look at the website, because the website, to me, it was a little bit confusing at first. And then when because I couldn't find my replacement parts, I was looking at accessories thinking, but there's another section. And I want you to look at the prices on how some of this stuff breaks down. So if we go over to, I got it. Here we go. All right. That's the Rolley Automation website. This is current and this is live right now. And this is the USA. So for everybody else international, yours is going to look a little different. And I don't know what your inventory is going to be like. But when I click on the products up here, hover over it, it comes up and gives me my drop down. And he's got the 2 lasers right now in the US. And if I click on the MK2, the standard MK2, currently it says shipping on 9/10. And you've got these prices, these configurations, 10, 20, and 30 watts. But then down here, it tells you what you have. These are what you have highlighted, and it shows you down here if he has any in stock and if they're ready to ship. So right now, what's highlighted is the 20-watt Lasermatic with the chuck rotary. And if we look up here, here's the 20-watt with the chuck rotary. It's normally $1,300. He's got it discounted to $900. So he's got them $400 off the list price. $400 off the regular list price, 20-watt with the rotary. It's a no-brainer of a deal. So if you've been on the fence and you hadn't bought one yet, get it now. You're going to be getting it a whole lot cheaper than the rest of us did, and you're going to be getting the best machine out there. If you look at the 20-watt with no rotary, it shows low stock, only 5 of them left here in the US. And they're only $750. And I point that out because if you already have a Roly and you don't need a second rotary, and you need or you want to get a replacement or a spare module, let's go over here and look at the modules. We're looking at the 20-watt. So this is the 20-watt with no rotary for $749. If we go over here to replacement parts under support, and we look at the 20-watt module, it's $300. And right now they are on back order and will ship on 9/30 for the 20-watt. And that's for the MK2, the MK2XW, the 20-watt and 30-watt versions. So the 20-watt right here, currently not available, will ship on or around the 30th of September, but it's $300 for the module. $300 versus $750. So what's that? $450. You get the entire machine, but there's only 5 of those left. And I'm wondering And I've got on my XW, and I'm not paying any attention to the comments and all that right now, guys, but I'll get there. And I'm going to invite you guys that want to come in and say, hey, I second everything he said, or this has been my experience, and Leo's the greatest, and Dimitri's been awesome. I'm going to open the doors to you guys to come in and testify, if you will, and encourage those to go out and buy this laser while they still can. But on my XW, I've got the 1030 module. And if you've watched the channel for a while, I do most of my engraving, if not all of my engraving, with the 10 watt because I like the result I get with it. It's a smaller spot size. And even when I'm just cutting wood, the 30 watt is going to cut it a whole lot faster. But I just stay with the 10 watt. And so when I order my replacement modules, I'm going to be ordering the 10 and 20 watt. I don't know that I will order the 30 because I don't use it. I don't like the spot size, how big it is. But back to the prices. $749 for the 20 watt with no rotary, and there's 5 left. If we look at the 10 watt, let's see. No, the 10 watt, there's no options. So 20 watt with the rotary is $900. No rotary, $750. 30 watt. No rotary. He has 9 in stock. So if you wanted to do the MK2 with the 30 watt with no rotary, because you've already got the machine in a rotary, for $1,050, you can get one of these 9 that are left. That's with no rotary. If you want the rotary, he's got plenty of those in stock and ready to ship for $11.99. And the 30 watt with the rotary is normally $15.99. So it looks like right now everything's discounted about $400 off of the regular list price to help motivate those who are like, I ain't sure about buying a product that may be going out of. I'm telling you, this thing is well over a year old, and I've not needed any warranty service. Some of the folks who have needed warranty service have got it. It's been handled, and in some cases, people were sent out entirely new machines when they couldn't resolve the issue. That level of commitment to the quality of the product is going to be there still, even though he's not officially open as a manufacturer any longer. So back over to the accessories or the replacement parts, because this is where I got a little bit confused. If we go to not in the contact support, customer or order replacement parts, right here it says on back order, on back order, on back order, on back order. But whenever you click on the actual pieces, this one is on back order till the 30th. No, I'm sorry, right there. See, there's a little bit of confusion about, because I don't think these have been updated. The description up here, this got put in, and then whenever the stock came in, they didn't update the description, because here it says on back order, but then here it's in stock and ready to ship. Now, you're not supposed to go off and leave your laser running. I got distracted this week, and I did that. And I had a 1/2-inch piece of cedar on the laser. It didn't catch fire, but it smoldered. And it smoldered with the air assist on, and it continued to smolder until it eroded it. It looks like it caught fire, but there was never a flame. It was just that ember, a glowing ember that burned all that out. Well, that glowing ember also radiated enough heat up that I need to order and replace this. So in addition to replacement modules, I'm going to order me 2 of those, because it's, $25. I would rather get me a couple of replacement modules, and I'll get a control board and a couple of these. And then if anything goes wrong, I'll be able to keep this tank running for as long as I can possibly imagine. So don't pay attention to the description up here where it says on back order. Look here for in stock and ready to ship. And replacement parts, Go to the lasers. If you wanted a 30 watt, see in stock, ready to ship. But up here it says back order, but they're in stock and ready to ship. 20 watt, in stock, ready to ship. Replacement parts. If you wanted to get a couple of the lenses, or I would recommend, where is it? There, here we go. $39 for the MK2 and the MK2XW control board. Those are cheap. And someone mentioned, you could have a power fluctuation, lightning run in, or if your city is constantly on and off, on and off, on and off with the power, you could have a power surge that could fry your control board. And then $39, you got a replacement control board sitting there. It's cheap insurance, So if you're not in the US and you thought they were out of stock based on descriptions in the website, look a little closer and see if there might be a line that says, hey, they're actually in stock and ready to ship, because there is a little conflicting information there. But you're not going to go wrong with purchasing a Roly laser. Not. And if you are already in the Roly Nation, it would be a huge blessing if it's in your ability to do what you can to help Leo close this chapter and move on to the next chapter, which will be just maintaining and warranty support. All right. So if you have, I'm going to post a link in the comments that will give you a link to join this studio. You can do it with your smartphone, or you can do it with your computer if you've got a computer and a microphone, or a camera and a microphone. But you should only have one link open. If you click on this link to come and join us in the studio and want to share with us, close the link on your computer and or your TV, so you don't have two streams going on and it creates an echo and creates confusion. So only have one link open. Don't have it streaming in the background and talking to us. Okay. And like always, if you don't want to come onto the channel or into the video stream and say, hey, Leo, thank you, God bless you, and prayers with you, and we love your product, love you, all that. If you don't want to show any support that way, you can do it in the comments. And to make sure that those comments jump out, if it's a special comment to Leo, start it with an @Leo, even though he's not in the stream right now. If he comes back and watches it, he can kind of scroll through there, and if he sees an @Leo, then he'll know to stop and read that, and not read all of your salutations to everybody. So I'm going to drop in here, and actually, you know what? Let me just look and see if there's anything that I need to worry about before sharing this with anybody. And I've seen this earlier, Terry. You don't need to be an interloper, brother. Now's the time to pull the trigger and get you one. Get you one now at a discounted price, and you will not be disappointed. I have talked to many folks who have purchased in the past week, and several of you have used my referral link, and it's okay if you do, because I've already told Leo that I'm not accepting any future commissions. So, I would prefer that you just use the RolleyAutomation.com website, and it's not even going into that referral system. So use his website directly, and that'll be all golden, because this is not about me or me trying to help. I'm not trying to load my pockets with selling these. In fact, how often have you heard me say, go buy any laser? I'm not that guy. And there's nothing wrong with pitch men. We need pitch men. And I actually, I enjoy watching Clack and all of the different toys that he gets to play with. What is it Steve says? Clack gets all the great toys. I love seeing that and seeing what's new and what's out there. But that's not me. That won't be me. And you don't need another Clack, because we got Clack. I value seeing others' opinions, and that's why I pushed to help Clack get one of the Rollies when he got one, because I thought his opinion was worth enough and valued enough to have him feed into the Roly Nation with an endorsement if, in fact, he did like it. Because what does he do when he sees something? He gives you the good, bad, and the ugly. So, but I don't push product. I don't try and sell product. It's like the machine I'll be giving away at the end of this month. I'm not promoting it. I'm not I bought it on a deal, and I bought 2 of them. I'm going to give one away. This stream is not about me trying to line my pockets in any way. It is an attempt to help Leo get his inventory sold, close this chapter, and move on. And just going to flip through these comments real quick. There's a howdy desert. I'm looking for exclamation points. I had a good week of grooming tips. You got a box. Oh, well, God bless you, Moses. Let's see. There we go. I need to get another module for my MK2. Well, before you buy just the module, Desert, look at the price and availability of a complete laser minus the rotary. If it's available, and it's only going to be a couple more $100 more, you're going to get a complete machine with new module, new belts, new board, you'll have a whole, you'll have your own replacement bin, parts bin. So you might consider buying an entire machine if it's available, because they're really inexpensive enough right now to consider doing that. Let's see, I'm scrolling really fast for exclamation points. There's question marks. I have the MK2 1030. I can't find an extra module with this configuration on the Rolley site. Will it be available? Products, MK2 products, support, order replacement parts. You got the 1030. You know what? Let's see, 20 watt and 30 watt. And let's see. That description is a little bit vague. I'm wondering on the replacement modules. It's replacement laser modules for the MK2, MK2XW, 20 watt and 30 watt versions. Well, personally, I have not seen one of the modules that was strictly 20 watts or strictly 10 watts or 30 watts, except, I take that back, except for the very, very first MK1s, which I think had just a 10 watt period. And then as it came out, I think they were switchable. So you might just put an email in, or if Leo or Dimitri, I think, is in Greece, so it's probably around 5 a.m. his time. So he said he didn't know if he'd make it. Leo, I have been in contact with, but I have not been in contact with him since I sent him a link to this. So I don't know if he'll be able to make it or not. If he's in China, it's 9:30 a.m, so it's convenient time for him from a chronological standpoint, but it may not be a convenient time. But I would send an email regarding this, because I think they're switchable. You can't see the other side of this one. And if somebody knows, for a fact that, yes, this is the 1020 and the 1030, because it doesn't say, but I have not seen one of these modules that was not a switchable module. And if you said you were looking for the 1030, well, if that in fact is the switchable 1030, then it shows to have them in stock for $400. But if you look at the MK2 30 watt with no rotary, okay, that one's going to be a little more with 30 watt. No rotary is still $1,050. So that one would not necessarily be a deal to do the whole machine on, not necessarily. But that one, again, I've not seen one that wasn't switchable. We may find down here in the comments somebody's chimed in and corrected us and told us otherwise. But let's see here. Looking for questions and comments, and then we're going to open this up to everybody and anybody. Question: is the difference between the MK2 and the XW worth the price? Depends on what you're doing with it. Craig brought this question up earlier today. And if you, wrong button. If you're doing production work, say you've got a booth that you keep inventory in and you keep it stocked, or you're doing craft shows, especially in fall and spring, you're in so you're producing lots and lots and lots and lots and you're doing multiples of the same thing. Well, if you're doing multiples of the same thing and you've got the XW and you can get instead of the 300 by 300 sheets, you get the great big sheets that you can lay on there, and you can set the machine up once and produce twice the amount of work with one setup. Yeah, it's worth it. If you want to make larger signs, like, and this is still, what is it? It's 24 inches. And if you wanted to do what's really, really popular, and I think even Clack has got different versions of his, the names, where people put them in the nurseries. Well, here you can at least get a 2-foot name that they put over the crib, and you do it in layers. Then you can make something pretty substantial with the XW. You can't do it with the regular. So there's a right tool and a right laser for everybody, and every laser is not the right tool for everybody. Does that make sense? It depends on what you're going to be using it for. If you're only doing it for yourself and you're only doing it for a hobby and you're not doing great big pieces and all you ever work with is 300 by 300, then no, you don't need it. But if you do like pushing the envelope and you like pushing and making bigger things, or you are doing production work, then absolutely it's worth the extra investment. Questions or comments? Chuck said, I ordered a 30 watt and it is switchable. Okay. And that's what I thought. I have not seen one of the modules, the later modules, that were not switchable. If it says 20, it's a 10-20 switchable. 30 is the 30-10 switchable, to my knowledge. I would still confirm that, but with Leo or whoever's answering the emails, unless they come on here in the next little bit and confirm it for us live. And we got lots of them. Yes, the 10, Brad's saying they're switchable. Jeff's just got a whole bunch of and Steve says, I just received my 30 and it's, so a lot of folks are saying, they've ordered them and they are, Craig just got his and his is a 1030. Jim, so there you go. See, and that's what I'm talking about, folks. There's enough people in the Roly Nation that's going to be able to help you when you have questions and or problems. If Leo's not readily available, if it's 9 months from now and he's still within your warranty period, he's going to address your question. But depending on what he's got going on, it may not be rapid fire response, but he will respond to you and he'll reply to you. But you may get an answer from folks in the Roly Nation, and I didn't want to bring this up, but before, but the Roly Automation Facebook group, the official Roly Automation Facebook group, it's not anything about it official Roly anything. So beware of anything that comes from that site. In fact, you may find it either disappears or that it's going to start charging for services or information. Just beware of that site. It's not an official Roly site. Leo's not behind it. Never has been. He participated in it, but he was never in charge of it. But if you do, you could always do the Facebook, the Hobo with Wood group, Facebook group, and because a lot of us in the Hobo with Wood group are Roly owners. And if you're looking for just general questions, you might be able to get some general support there, but just beware of anybody wanting to charge you for anything. The 30 watt for $3.99 is the one that support told me to order for my 1030. Yeah. Okay. So it is better to have a large work area than not be able to do a job. Get it as big as you can afford to fit an area. And that's, if you anticipate doing work for others, and your shop you got room for it. Sometimes it gets down to, I just don't have room to put it in my building, or I don't have room. If I take up even 6 more inches, my wife's going to hit me in the head, or, whatever. So, but I've got 2 of them sitting here side by side, and I use this one primarily for everything. Carl backs his up. I just ordered 4 new lenses for my 20 watt and 30 watt. Okay. No, you just ordered some lenses. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, we need to show Leo some love and support by cleaning out his inventory, as especially with the lasers, the complete laser. That's why I wanted to point out there's not a drastic difference on some of the complete lasers versus just the modules, and it will benefit him. Buying the parts is great. But right now, because he's going to even once all the lasers are gone, he's going to keep a parts inventory to maintain and warranty the items that are out there. So buying his parts inventory right now is a blessing, but it's not going to help him close the chapter of sales. And that's my goal tonight, is to encourage those who are on the fence, get off the fence, quit thinking about it, pull the trigger, go buy one of the modules or one of the lasers, and you will not be disappointed. Thanks, Roly Nation. I just ordered. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, everybody, for that feedback to ensure that was right. I have 2 lasers and no room for another. I buy a 4x8 sheet of birch and cut it into 9 400 by 400 sections for my MK2 and do larger jobs. Yeah. Yeah, you can still get a pretty decent piece with the MK2, but you're not going to be able to get 24 inches. You can use the pass through and use print and cut and all that, but that bigger work area is nice to have if you can pull it off. Well, Jack in the shop says, but I like fences. Well, fences are good for one thing. Fences make great neighbors. I think everybody should have a fence. But when it comes to buying a Rolley right now, it is not time to sit on the fence. Now is the time to pull the trigger, buy the Rolley, get you one while you can. Don't sit on that fence. Wayne, I just ordered the XW 20 watt and an extra module motherboard, 6 lenses, and extra bottom. Pat yourself on the back there, Wayne. Awesome. I love my MK2 the most. Is there a pass-through on both? Yes. Yeah. My MK2 has a pass-through. It's not obviously as big as the XW, but I see one. It's been so long since I used it. I've got it set up for my rotary. But yes, the MK2 does have a pass-through. All right, now, I'm going to share a link here in the feed, and I think I can have up to 8 or 9 people in here at one time. I don't want to have a bunch of people talking over each other, because that confuses me and the way my stroke-riddled brain works. I can't focus on too many noises at one time. Smart Alex says, I just ordered the last XW 30 watt with no rotary. And that's, that's kind of what I started to do this earlier. I meant to open a another screen to show what the inventory was starting out, and then see how many we could move during this stream. But I failed to do so. But it's okay. But thank you. And I know I tell you this every time I see it, Smart Alec, because I know I don't, in fact, some of you may know or may not, Alex or Alec. People say it different ways, and I do like that, Smart Alec. I love that. I love that. I'm, as the name there says, Hobo with Wood. I love playing with names. And Smart Alec and the Led Zeppelin, I like that one too. All right. Invite guest. Copy. Now, be polite. I'm not looking for strictly, people just singing his praises, because as I mentioned, people out there who bought a machine, there are a few who had an issue, but it's really good hearing how it was handled. So if you're one of those, you're welcome to share that experience. But just watch your language, because we don't want to do anything that's and also this is focusing on Leo, Dimitri, and Roly. Not on me, not on anyone else or any other experiences that are going on. Roly, Dimitri, Leo. Okay? Don't even bother mentioning anybody else about anything. And I'm going to post this now. Copy, paste. All right, so there's a link. Do not have multiple links open. So close your YouTube and open that link so we don't have echoes going on. Let's see, what's Brad say? Did I see that? I just bought another MK20 and an extra module. Or let's see, I just bought, he did just buy one. He said, or I'd buy some tonight. Excellent. Folks, the cost you get for the cost, you get everything: enclosed unit, honeycomb, air assist, exhaust, robust machine. Support is awesome as well. And the support is still going to be there, but Dimitri is going to be phased out sooner than he won't be available for the full year. So the support, and depending on what happens with the whole health situation and what's going on, I don't anticipate realistically the support being like it has been, but it will be there. You won't be left out high and dry and left out there to be, with no support. And like I said, you've got enough people that would be willing to help you with trial and error and feedback. But if it comes to actual technical or needing parts, and it'll be there and you will get your service. But Dimitri will be greatly missed. Oh, here we got here. We got Alex. In fact, I'm just curious. And we got Craig here too. Hey, are you Smart Alec?
Say again?
Are you Smart Alec?
I guess.
No, that's not you. No. But is that your name?
No.
Okay. All right. So are you a Roly owner?
For the last 3 days.
Oh, okay. So have you got it out and done first cuts and stuff with it?
I have given the deposit for the Galvamatic.
Okay.
And unfortunately, as everybody else, got the bad news about it. But I jumped on the wagon right away and got the MK2 30 watt with the rotary. Just received it 3 days ago. I opened it a couple of days ago, set it up, got my first burn. And man, that machine is, out of the box is something else. Top notch.
And I'm glad that you said that, because how much assembly did you have to do once you got it out of the box?
0. I removed a few screws. I just connected a few hoses and put the module on the gantry and started burning. The setup on the computer, of course, right?
Yeah,
with the driver and all that.
How many belts did you have to tension?
Nothing.
How many gantries did you have to square up and get all the?
Nothing, and it worked like a charm.
right out of the box.
Right out of the box.
Yeah, and that is the precision that you don't see with any. I've not done that with any other laser in 3 years. Never.
No, I'm the owner of an X-Tool D1 20 watt Pro, and okay, it was my first one, so I didn't even think about it. You know, the amount of assembly and all that, but it did have a lot of work to set it up. This one, I was ready within 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
What would you? And was this your first Roly?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yes.
And so you didn't. I'm sure you were probably given the opportunity to either be refunded or use it on a different machine, and you went to go with the other machine.
yes.
And from your experience right now, if there's anybody out there even thinking about it, you'd say do it.
Don't stay on the fence.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
said it. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
I was looking for a second laser. I'm just starting my business, and you know, the moment I saw the discount, I've been hearing so many things, good things, right, about Roly, from you, from Rich, and I mean, I couldn't do otherwise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Very good. Well, I'm going to bring in here another. We've got several here, and I'm going to bring everybody in. And guys, you're welcome to stay in here, and but I'm going to bring in, and we'll listen to each other's experiences. And if anybody has feedback to bounce off each other, great. See, first we got here. Craig was the next one in the room. See, add to stage, Craig. Hello, Craig. You feeling pretty good this evening?
I'm hanging in there. How
Good
you doing,
deal.
guys?
Hey, Greg.
Listen, I just wanted to have my 2 seconds to say thank you to Leo and absolutely thank you to Dimitri. My best experience that I had with the Rolley and the Rolley company was purely out of customer service. I had my first laser was a different laser, not a Rolley. And when I bought Rolley, I've never looked back. The customer service was incredible. Dimitri has, on several occasions, answered me quickly when I had a stupid question. He's helped me tremendously and is a wonderful person. Leo has personally answered emails and technical questions, and you don't get that from today's corporate world, especially from the owner. So, I mean, that tells you what kind of person he is and what kind of company he ran. And I wish them nothing but the best. And Dimitri, I'm sure we haven't seen the last of him because he's a brilliant guy, just like Leo. I'm sure they're both going to do bigger and better things in the future. But I just wanted to say thank you to all the employees of Rolley.
Yeah, it's and Alex, did have you had any interaction with Dimitri at all in your setup, or did you?
Not yet. I guess I'm grateful about it.
Yeah.
Of course, right? All the setup was uneventful, and I hope I will not need him at all. I say that from the bottom of my heart. I have heard so many good things about the support, and Dimitri being, of course, in Greece. I am from Greece, by the way. So I suppose I'll get hooked up with him at some point and just
yeah,
Terrific man.
yeah, but yeah, I did not have to, and I hope it stays like that.
And the entire material library is because of him. So
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
he did all that work for us, and man, I that saved me so much time.
You know, that was another very pleasantly surprising thing to see, the USB drive having everything that you needed to be able to set up and get going right away, right out of the box, right? Of course, for the little about a year now that I've been in this thing, I have all my own numbers and I pretty much know. But switching from a 20 watt to a 30 watt, it's a challenge, right? But having these defaults or
it's a place to start.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna bring in Wayne, and Greg. Are you good to hang around for just a minute?
If you like.
Yeah, cause I have an urgent request to go outside.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No problem.
Gigi has walked up to me and said,
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Got to
Gigi's
take care of that.
Yeah, Gigi's my girl, and so I got to let her
Yeah.
out. Or else, so I'm going to bring Wayne on here, and Wayne, welcome to the conversation. I'm going to step out for a second. You tell everybody what your experience has been, and I'll be
Hey,
right
Wayne,
back.
how are you?
Hey, good. How are you guys? Well, I'm doing pretty good. I cut my thumb off this week, but other than that, I'm doing good.
Oh, God.
But
I hope it wasn't with a laser.
no, it was with table saw.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Those tools can do that to you.
I jumped in on Roly on the kickstart of the XW and was on one of the first to order it. And that was an awesome machine. I got the 30 watt, but I work a laser pretty hard, and I had some complications with it, and but I tried to clean it pretty regular. But those wires on those fans were problems in the start, and I messed up. It was actually my fault, and I told Leo and Dimitri that. But they actually, in the first 6 months I had it, they sent me 3 new modules. And I mean, they bent over backwards everything I asked to do, anything they could to make things right. And finally, it kept happening, other things. But I think a lot of the problem was in my little old studio where I have all my stuff. I had a couple different lasers running off the same outlet, and I don't think I was getting enough power to the machine. And I think that was causing problems. And I told Leo that, and he said, well, I'll tell you what, Wayne, I wish you'd just send that machine back to me and let me do research on it and find out what's going on. So I did. I still kept the original boxes and everything. I packed everything up, sent it back to him. But I wouldn't get rid of all my information on my laptop because I knowed I was getting another Roly sometime or another. And then when the Glabomatic started, well, I jumped on that kickstart. I was going to, instead of getting another XW, I was going to go with that Glabomatic. But since that's out, now I'm back on the XW. I like that XW, but I did go with the 20 watt this time, and I ordered an extra 20 watt modules and about 6 or 8 new lenses and the lower shroud, motherboard, and 4 or 5 fans. I wanted to get what I know from experience with the 30 watt, what problems might occur. And I mean, it wasn't from the Roly though. I think the 90% of it was me. I was pushing too hard because I was just getting started in laser engraving, and I was trying to build product, and I was down there working 8 or 10 hours a day at least, sometimes 12 or 14. And once I got that Lasermatic, well, that was all I wanted to use. I had 2 other lasers, but I didn't even want to use them.
Wayne, I was just about to say that. I've got a fiber and another diode, and I use the Rolley 95% of the time.
Yeah. Now I have the Ortour. Now that's a pretty good little laser, but I'll tell you, their customer service is terrible. I mean, they will get around to getting to you, but it takes you a month to even get to talk to them, But once you deal with Roly, you ain't going to be able to deal with no other company.
Leo and Dimitri have spoiled the laser community.
You're absolutely right.
And that it's going to be, and the fact that Leo has put the development out there for the Galvomatic out there in open source for somebody to pick it up and run with it, to try and continue to develop it, that right there also says really huge things about him. He's like,
absolutely.
He could have pocketed that info, but he said, here,
he could have sold the company.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that he didn't sell the company because he wanted to protect the name.
Well,
And
I tell you, Steve, everybody I come in contact with at Roly Automation, and I talk to several of the technical people and everything, but every one of them are top notch. They ain't no shortcuts taken. They do everything right the first time.
yeah,
Yeah, their customer service is really second to none, and
Next level.
it's going to be a void in the industry.
You got that right.
You
and
try
somebody
to deal with any other company, and you get let down.
Yeah, somebody might come out with a finished Galvomatic, but I don't know that anybody that the challenge is not coming out with the next greatest thing. The challenge is coming out with the same level of service.
Yeah.
Because finding people that take pride in their job and their what they do, that's hard. I don't care what country you're in. It's tough to find people who are committed to delivering quality service. And you got that because Leo was actively involved in the daily operation.
Yeah.
And I think you said it well earlier that regardless of what he's facing right now, and God willing, he will get past it, quickly.
Well,
There's a lot. There's a lot in stock. I don't think that he's gonna quit. He's gonna come back.
Well, I was just fixing to say, I know Steve touched on it earlier, but I'd like to ask, I know there's way over 100 people here tonight, and I'd like to ask each one of you to pray for Leo and his family, that God will step in and overcome this circumstance for him to where he can get back to business. And, because like Steve said earlier, he lived this for a few years now, ever since he started this company. And this is weighing really heavy on him. And they're wonderful guys. And I'd like to ask everybody in this broadcast to pray for them.
And what I would recommend, I was reached out last night. I received an email from somebody here in the Hobo Nation, explained their absence, and I'm not going to mention names, but they have some other issues going on, and I told them I was going to add them to my prayer list. And this is when I pray, this is how I pray. First, I ask for peace.
Yeah.
All right, because if you don't have peace, it's hard to get anything else. Ask for peace, and then I ask for His will be done. If it's not God's will for Leo to be in the laser business, then that's what we ask for. Ask for peace. Ask for peace for Leo and his family, and God's will be done. And if
I'm the same way. Regardless of what I pray for, I always add that in. It be your will. If God's will is the right way, regardless, and He don't mix up.
one of my favorite songs, and I'm going to bring Jay on here. One of my favorite songs was Garth Brooks. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers.
Yeah. So Kathy
got that right.
Wisconsin said that she worked for 10 years with a tech support for a lighting company with top-notch tech and customer service, and Roly support impressed her. And I'm very familiar with customer service as well, and they're, like I said, they're second to none. So thank you for that, Kathy W.
Well, Steve, I'll jump out, buddy. I appreciate you getting me on here, and keep up the good work, buddy. You sure helped me a lot in the last year and a half. I would have been lost without you during this, because I'm a 72-year-old man trying to learn all this stuff that I've never messed with before.
Wayne, tuck the rest of your fingers, brother.
Yeah, look at there. Hey, Steve,
dear Lord.
You wasn't there. I cut my thumb off this week.
Hey, I got my Roly on the table, so look at that.
Yeah.
I hope you heal quickly, Wayne.
All right, guys. See you.
All right, have a good one.
All right, and now we got Jay. Let's bring Jay in. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Are you a Roly owner, sir?
Oh, you bet.
How many Rollies do you have?
Well, I've got one, and it's all that can fit on my desk. It's just a straight MK2. I bought it a couple years ago, and you could tell the quality of the machine because it was a bear getting it out of the box. It is packed that well. And
packed very well.
And being a newbie and being in my late 70s, but I've had a lot of woodworking and graphic experience, so it's no big deal. But I had a few questions and issues that Leo, when I first started, he answered a whole bunch of them. And then Dimitri, he was a godsend on a couple of things. I had a problem where the y-axis didn't come all the way down to the bottom, and he told me how to fix that. And I've had to do that a couple of times because I ran the module into grind.
Yep.
And throws things off a little bit. But I've already sent an email off to Leo and etc. He's a unknown friend. And Dimitri is, like I said, is a godsend. And it's really, really sad to see this wonderful company just go to oblivion. And I'm hoping somewhere along the line, somebody comes back and starts it back up. It would be nice. And I don't know what kind of problems that Leo has, but I'm going through a few issues with my wife currently, and she's getting a heck of a lot better and should be back to 98% here soon. And so I understand the family issues. And so, well, that's all I can say is that it's a fun time. And when I talked to my wife originally telling her about this, I told her in front of a woodworking buddy, and she said, well, why don't you buy one? It was ordered that night.
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine this week, and they were in an automotive related industry as well. Had their own business for a long time, and running a business stressful, and his blood pressure was always elevated from dealing with customers and stress and vendors and insurance, and well, just recently he started doing some scroll saw work and spending hours in his wood shop painting and scroll sawing. And he's come to me and asked me to help him look at doing some different ideas with doing the laser instead of the scroll saw. So we may end up getting him into the laser Hobo Nation. But it was so surprising. He did his blood pressure test, and he's he had to take a step back and check it again, and then he had to take it in and show it to his wife and said, look at this. And she said, whose blood pressure is that? That ain't your blood pressure. It was lower than it had ever been. It's just the hobby, the release, the getting in there, the hands-on and the creativity. It can be a good stress reliever too. So it can be therapeutic for those, especially if you're sitting there with, you ain't got nothing else. This is how I started. I didn't have nothing going on. And so I started out of boredom, and it's been a wonderful journey. I'm glad that I'm part of the Rolley Nation. I'm glad I got to meet Leo.
Yeah, I have a friend that's a scroll sawer, and he now has 4 different scroll saws, and he teaches, and he's a member of a Indiana Central Woodworkers, and they have a special group for scroll sawing, and I've directed him to your site a couple of times and saying this would be great for you as a scroll saw project, and as long as it doesn't have too many internal cuts or whatever, it works great. So it's a double header. So anyway, I just thought I'd hop in and give my condolences.
How do you? I'm guessing you've had yours for a while, then, huh?
Yeah, I've had it for a couple of years.
Yeah, because the reason that I think I knew that is because you mentioned you had a little bit of an issue with the gantry when you first started.
Yeah.
And what happened in the very first couple of lasers that went out, the gantry wasn't packed securely enough, and so during shipping, if it was jostled around, the gantry could get unsquare or out of square.
Yeah.
And so a lot of folks had that exact same problem in the very early beginning, but they fixed all that and packing it even better. So all those went away. But
Yeah.
I've also ran into the same problem that you had where I didn't catch I had something in the way and my gantry come forward and I put it in a bind and then I was out of square again. And, but easy fix.
Yeah. My biggest issue is the laser grid.
Yeah. The honeycomb.
Yeah. The honeycomb it's not really squared.
Well, even
It's
if
the Y is perfect, but the X from left to right, the right's about 2 millimeters out of whack.
is it, I was going to say, is it the frame of the honeycomb itself is what's racked?
Yep.
Yeah. And,
But what I do is like what you do, put it in and never deal with the edges.
Yeah. I don't say if it's racked a little bit but you're still using that corner as its home, it's going to go to that same, the repeatability is going to still be there.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's so accurate. Even if your honeycomb's not square, the center is the center and the edge is the edge, and you can go back to it every time.
Oh
One thing I wanted to say too was, not only technically, you're talking about two of the most brilliant people I've ever met in my life, but they're nice people.
Oh yeah,
they're such nice people. I know a couple of times when I was on with Dimitri, we would fix the laser stuff and then we just talk. We talk for an hour, and he's in Greece, and just super nice people. It's such a loss to the industry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do a lot of two-sided stuff, and I'm a Santa Claus guy.
Oh yeah.
And so I do one side, and then I flip to do the other sides.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it works.
And people who don't have a Roly, who even attempt to do that, they have to have jigs and trial and error and lots of mess ups. And folks without a Roly and without that repeatability, they don't know how easy it is to do with the Roly.
And you talk about precision. Is this little guy, and he gets flipped, and he's on both sides, and I bet you can't do that on any other machine.
It'd be not without jigs and jig tables or something.
So
excellent.
Anyway,
now one question before you go is you've had yours for a couple of years now, and I imagine how much technical issues have you had that you've have you had enough issues you say, you know what, I wouldn't buy another one? Or is there any reason why you would tell somebody, you know what, maybe you don't go buy that new one right now? Or would you say, you know what, don't wait, go buy that one, wait, don't take advantage of that price? Would you tell
if you're on the fence, get off the fence and open your checkbook, because it is by far the best piece of hardware. It's better than any saw or whatever I've got out in my shop.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And you're not saving a little bit. You're saving $300-400 on some of these machines. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's a heck of a deal.
Right.
And anybody should take into consideration and get off the fence and go buy one.
All
You'll
right.
have a lot of fun.
Excellent.
So I'm going to get off here and go back to the other stream.
All right, excellent. Yeah, I'm going to read some of these comments just in case Leo misses any of them. Let's see here. Remove. Let's see. Remove. There, he's gone. All right. I see. I want to read a few of these. Sharon mentions to Leo, I want to thank you for all your help with my MK2. Your customer service was superb. I greatly appreciate the ability to upgrade to the XW when I decided the MK2 needed replacing, and God bless you. And then she mentions, "Hey, Dimitri, thank you for all your work in troubleshooting my recent issues. I greatly appreciate your patience. Your customer service is superb too." And let's see here. Chris, I have seen Roly replace complete machines for minor support issues. I guess Leo decided it was easier for the customer based on what he saw as their experience level. Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You don't get that anywhere.
Don't forget the scanning offset scannings Dimitri did. That makes a huge difference. And let's see. Sorry I'm late. Roly is tops and Leo is the best. So sorry to see him going out of business.
Steve, I don't know. Did you see the one that Greg from Greg Wilson Nature Photography posted? He said he feels like he needs to call customer service because he's never had to call them and they sound so nice.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. My second support event in 3 years. I just submitted it today, and I have a confirmed video appointment for September the 2nd at 10. Yeah. So only 2 support events in 3 years, folks. I've not had one.
Yeah.
I've not had one. So that's and that's really what I was. And you heard everybody who was talking about it, who's had these for years. They didn't need to go calling and looking for lots and lots of support. So if that's your reason for being hesitant and not pulling the trigger, it's not an issue. It's not like there have been many laser manufacturers who solicited me about coming and doing an open box and doing it. And I hear all these horror stories about as soon as you opened them out of the box, you had to rebuild the thing before you could even use it. I'm like, no, I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to be involved with that. I'm spoiled. And there's one. Okay, I see. There's what you read, Kathy's already. Crafting Gene says, "Hey Leo, we wish you and your family the best of everything. Both you and Dimitri are the best in the industry, and we are grateful to have learned from you both. Prayers for all." Let's see here. Looking. And what is the footprint of the XW? Let's see here. XW.
Yeah, keep looking. It was answered. The next one.
Oh, was it? Okay. All right. There are many people suffering in China, floods, typhoons, and poverty. Pray for them all. Well, yeah. Well, and when I pray for peace, I don't pray for. I pray for internal peace, but not pray for peace. Period. Because all the struggles that everybody's going through, it doesn't matter if they're in Wisconsin, or if they're in China, or if they're, peace in your heart first. If you're fighting with your neighbor, pray for peace. All right. It's okay. Okay. You got that. I got you. Thank you for that. And I just happened to see this one. I agree. My journey with the Rolley so far has been truly amazing and truly a fun-filled adventure. Let's see. I was able to get one of the first 50 MK1s that were available as soon as the MK2 came out. That one came home too. Well, Steve, if you've got room in your shop for the XW, grab one of those now while you can.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, Rolling Nation, got to tap out for the night. Early church service tomorrow. You are a great group of people. Let's keep this up. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, Larry. You have a good day. Have a great week. Steve, you are the copy of all YouTube. Don't follow that one, Wayne. Do you follow that one?
No.
You are the copy of all YouTube videos.
If you're asking if all of Steve's videos are available on YouTube, the answer is yes. But I don't think that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I don't quite follow you there, Wayne. You might follow up with
clarify. We'll hit it again.
Yeah. Is the side exhaust the same for the MK2 and the XW? I don't think so. I think there's a slight variation that has to do with either the camera or I've got it on the fan. Let's see. I'm pretty sure they are different. Somebody else has already asked that question, Terry. And if you're in the stream right now and you can confirm my suspicions that they are not interchangeable, there is a slight variation. And let's see what they say in the order replacement part, or no, it's in the accessories. Products. I'm on accessories. And we switch over here. And let's go full screen with that one right there and turn you off for a second. Side exhaust mod for the MK2 and side exhaust mod for the MK or the MK1. I don't see the side exhaust for the XW. And somebody confirmed for me in the comments that I think there is a slight variation. I think someone had already tried it and they're like, yep, you had to do some modifying to make it happen. But we'll look for that for an answer for your question there, Terry, in the comments. Somebody confirm for me if my suspicions are correct. Let's show people what we're talking about being able to use each other's experiences. Let's see. My only support issue was rehoming and losing its position. Turned out was a small bit of wood on the track. Felt kind of dumb having to reach out for help. Hey, we've all had those moments. And anybody that's not, I'm sure you weren't made to feel any lesser. Not by anybody in the group, not by anybody from Rolley. There's like, well, they're actually thankful that's all that it was. How many here are disappointed they didn't experience customer support? Okay.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Steve, you are the Rolley automation service on YouTube. Okay. Well,
welcome, Stacy.
I'm not much help when it comes to technical. I will never ever claim to be super intelligent about the technical stuff. I can help you all day long with designs and figuring stuff out and help you make things and create things. But when it comes to troubleshooting, unless I've had that problem, then I probably wouldn't be much help. But I can help you find the answer.
Carl says the side exhaust fits both. It won't fit the Mark I. Don't ask me how I know.
Okay, I knew I'd seen that there was a difference. So the MK2 will fit the MK2 XW, but it won't fit the MK1. Okay, I knew there was something wasn't interchangeable.
And then Bill says he put a side exhaust on his XW.
Okay, all right. Roly was the second best laser decision I ever made. The first was look at that. The first was discovering Hobo and becoming part of the Hobo Nation. All right.
He's a superstar this week.
Yeah. And yeah, okay. Don't even have space for another laser, but getting the MK2 just because they are so good. Plus lots of extra parts for my MK2 XW 30 watt. Yeah. And she says no, and Stacy says no, they're not interchangeable. So Stacy's saying that no, that the MK2 and the MK1 are not interchangeable.
Right.
But the question was the MK2 and the MK2 XW interchangeable? So we've got a little bit of conflicting information there. We've got one saying it was and one saying it's not. We'll see if we get more clarification. I think Wayne is maybe saying you might be a bit better than, well, here we go. At Leo and Dimitri. Thanks for changing my laser experience. I had to use customer service and I had to replace my control board. My 1-year warranty had just expired, but they honored it. Yep, that's the kind of people that they are. And it was a full year out of warranty, and we have no idea how many hours you had on that laser. We don't know if it was an external source that caused the failure. But even though you did have a failure and it was outside the warranty, they took care of it with no questions asked.
Yeah, they could have just said, send us another $30 or whatever it is, and they would have got their money. But that's not what they do.
But they handled it. They took care of it. And for people who were like, well, I hate to buy it and only have a 1-year warranty. Well, he had his for over a year before it even failed. And we don't know why it failed.
Right.
So you don't need to be worried about buying a machine. If you haven't bought one, it's a tank. I'm telling you, it's a tank. And that's our goal, is to wipe out his inventory. That's my goal. My personal desire is to get his sales chapter closed so he can move on. So I'm asking you to
Kevin Hawbecker said, the only issue I had when I first got mine was I needed the setup files. Leo responded within 12 hours. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yep, there it is. Yep. Well, hopefully that's just an issue you get with your particular service. Jeep saying he's having issues with chat blacking out. Hopefully it's just him. Craig is doing a pretty good job. Yeah. Hey, yes, he is. Yeah. I haven't tried using the camera on my 20 watt. Well, when I first started with lasers, I thought the camera was just the ultimate goal. Oh man, I wished I had a camera. And you see, there were some people who had a lot of, at the time, there were no enclosed diode desktops when I first started. Everything was the open gantry, and you had some tents that you put over them to help contain some of the fumes and exhaust them out. And then you had the option to do like Clack did. We built Clackzilla and all that, where you made your own enclosures. But cameras were, that was like, oh man, if you got a camera, you got something. Well, when I finally got the camera and started using it on, it was the first one I had was on the CO2. It was a little bit of an aggravation, and then when I got the first MK1 with the camera, I was like, oh boy, this is great. And I did not realize until Dimitri educated me and many, many others about the necessity for the calibration for every thickness of material you use, because the thickness of the material changes the focal point of the camera. And so if you go from 3mm to 6mm material, you're 3 millimeters closer to the camera. So all of the alignment's off. And I've told y'all before, I'm lazy. I am extremely lazy, and I am not going to calibrate a camera for 6 different or 12 different pieces of material thicknesses and all that. And I got to where, and you can do this with the Roly because the precision is there. When you put the material in that bottom corner and tell it to go home, and you position your design in Lightburn in a given position, everything's going to be right there where you told it to be. It's not going to be close. And what I do with my leatherette and in my patches, or anytime I've got waste material, but especially with the leatherette, you got that 18 by 24 piece of leatherette, and you cut out a little patch. When you finish cutting it out, turn that cutout into a tool path and save that tool path with an outline of your leatherette. And then next time you need to cut a patch, you bring that tool path back in, and you know exactly where your material is missing the pieces. And you drop your pattern right back on that, cut it out. It's going to go out, be perfectly lined up every time because it's the same material in the same place. Put that last one you did on the new tool path, save it. And next time you can't do that with another laser, but without a fixed, honeycomb and the precision that this machine has got.
Steve, Andy H. said, I emailed Roly about the side exhaust panel. Leo replied, hi, Andy. I can confirm that the Mark II side exhaust mod also works for the Mark II XW. Cheers, Leo.
Okay. So That's excellent. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. And then Brad's at Leo. Thank you for not just the machine, but your dedication to the company and your belief. And your belief, if you are honest, your customers will be. If you're honest, your customers will be. I'm sure not all were, but you, sir, are. I'm a hard time reading that one, Brad, just because of my strokes. Appreciate all of the Roly. So he's essentially, what I got there is, hey, the customers may not have been completely honest with Leo, but it didn't matter. Leo stuck by it, and he kept his word, and he honored what he said he would do.
Yeah, stand up guy.
Jeep says, I don't use the camera on any of his 5 lasers or her 5 lasers. I shouldn't say he, assuming. Lightburn allows so many options for anything that happens. And Brad's, I wish you the best and always support anything you're involved in.
Amen. I will too. If Leo or Dimitri's name's attached to it, I'm there.
I'm curious. I'm going to go over here and just look and see if anything's updated to MK2. And I'm going to full screen switch. So right now, the least expensive option, no rotary, 20 watt. Let's refresh this and see if that changes any. Nope, still showing 5 of those in stock at $750. And when I order mine, as soon as it's in the budget, I'm going to be ordering the 20 watt replacement module. I'll probably ordering 2 of those. And I've got the 30 watt. I just like the 10 and 20 watt option better. I like that smaller kerf. So if there's 5 of these available right now at $749, and boys and girls, that's no rotary. That's a full enclosure with a fixed honeycomb, and the camera, your air assist. You will not find I challenge you to go on to one of those crazy Alibaba or any of those places and find a laser that has all of those accessories for that kind of price right now. And if you buy it on Alibaba or
it's not going to be the same quality,
and it's junk. It's junk. You're buying it and knowing it's junk when you buy it, and you won't buy anything that cheap that has all of those accessories. So there's really no reason not to take advantage of this. How important is the rotary? Well, depends on what you do with your laser. I don't do a whole lot of it, but there are folks that's all they do. They do tons and tons of tumblers, and some of them have got businesses, or they have contracts where they make 40 or 100 or 120, or they do them for wedding events or for anniversary, whatever. But if it's not something that has appealed to me greatly, but that is one of the first things I'm going to tackle this coming week, because I did receive an email from someone asking for support with the Rolley and the rotary, and their support question was they want to take and put their cup or their tumbler in the rotary and engrave directly over the logo. They want to make sure that their logo is perfectly centered with the logo of the manufacturer. And they're like, how do we do that? How do we get that consistency? How do we get that position and know that it's going to be right? And so that's what I want to be helping with somebody in a one-on-one this week and figure out. And it may end up turning out to be a YouTubeable moment. I don't know yet. But for some folks, the rotary is crucial. And then for some folks like me, I've got one, and I used it. I used it to figure out how to, get the perfect shape logo and the warp factor with the different. And then shortly after I did that, Lightburn came out with the warp tool to do it for you. So I was like, hey, great, I figured it out, and now I don't need to.
Right.
So it depends on what do you want. What I said earlier. This may not be the absolute right laser for everybody, and some people may not want a laser without a rotary. It just depends on what you want to do. What is your need? What is your desire?
Yeah, like Jim Pitts just mentioned he did 24 tumblers today. You know, a lot of people are doing nothing but tumblers or rings or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on what you do.
Yep. He's got to be selling these at cost. Yeah, I don't know. You know,
Pretty close.
But I'm sure his profit margins were tight. And that's also the reason, you know, I don't know what his profit margins are now. That's also the reason I said immediately, as soon as I seen the announcement, I told him my first email to him was I was going to do anything I could to help promote and help get those sales done. Right. But I no longer needed any commissions at all. And that's why I won't have my referral link will not be posted at the end of this. It's that referral link that's scrolling down there at the bottom. I can't point it at it because of where we're at. But go to RolleyAutomation.com to buy your laser and buy it direct from him. Cut out all the other sponsors and let him retain all of the funds from it. I use the rotary from time to time for tumblers. I doubt it was ever high, so cheap for the quality of the machine. Yeah, the
price wise, yeah.
The quality is second to none. It is truly in the laser world. It is a tank for a hobbyist desktop laser. All right, I don't think I could sing its praises all day long, but we're 90 minutes in. I had sent an invitation out to Leo and to Dimitri, but Dimitri, like I said, Dimitri, he may not, he's not even thinking about being up yet. And Leo's just got a lot going on.
Well, Steve, I'm gonna let you go for tonight. Everybody, Hobo Nation, we'll talk to you soon, and take care. And Steve, I'll talk to you later on this week.
All right, brother. Thank you for your help tonight.
Absolutely.
And thank you for your feedback.
Oh, y'all take care. Have a good night.
Good night. All right. So don't hesitate. Get permission from the wife. Get permission from the husband. We don't. I say that the husbands, they got to get permission from the wife, and when the ladies need to buy it, because there are a lot of women here tonight that use the Rolley. But typically, the women don't need to get the husband's permission. They just going to go and buy it and tell the husband, "I bought a Rolley tonight," and they're okay. All right. So do what you can, guys. Do what you can to help support Leo through this transition. And really, the goal is that my personal goal was to help sell out his remaining laser systems, the complete lasers. Get that inventory going. If you don't need or don't want to buy the whole thing, then for your benefit, yes, at this time while they're available, get those laser modules and spares and put them away, because those are truly consumable pieces. They are going to wear out. They're going to burn up. Get you a handful of these and put them away, and but be sure you know where you put them, because when you need them and you can't find them, what good was it to buy them? So you keep your inventory well organized and in a known location. I am lucky my girlfriend demanded I buy another. I was moping for 4 days after hearing about the whole thing. Yeah, well, you got a good girlfriend. How do I become part of the Hobo Nation? Well, you're here. You are part of the Hobo Nation. Welcome, sir. I'm not doing any self-promotion here tonight. I could tell you about the Patreon. No. But right now I'm here to focus on Roly. But you hit that like and subscribe button there in YouTube. and so you can be part of the YouTube streams. I do live every Saturday. I alternate 3 and 9 p.m. so that I can appeal to both sides of the blue marble. But hit that like and subscribe button, and you shouldn't miss anything if you have your notifications turned on. And then we can talk about other ways you could support the Hobo Nation. But right now, you are an official member of the Hobo Nation by simply being here. And welcome. Let Leo know if and when he starts a new project to let you know so we will know. Yeah, I will ask for that. I don't know how high up I am on his totem pole. And actually, you know what? I don't know if you know this or not, but that's misrepresentations. Like, actually on true totem poles, the lower you were on the totem pole, the higher your value was. Top man on the totem pole was the actually low man on the totem pole, as when it comes to respect or whatever. So, but I don't know where I am in his world, in as far as where does Hobo exist? I don't know. I'm a blip in his universe. I'm grateful to know and to have worked with him, and to have his machine sitting behind me. It's just, and I, because of what he's going through right now, it resonates with me so personally. Is why I'm doing this. Is why I'm doing what I can to help make people aware of truly how valuable this machine is, and how crazy you are for not taking advantage of this opportunity to buy a laser while it's available. And any reservation or hesitation not to buy it is wasted time, thought, energy. There's not a valid reason not to buy this machine, because he's going to warranty it. It's going to take care of it. Oh, yeah, look at that. Bah. Top like beast and monsters on a totem. Top man on the totem pole was last on, so not as wise as those already there. Yeah. So, Tom says he thinks I sold him out tonight. I don't know, because like I said, maybe on some of the replacement pieces and stuff, but I still see some of the machines available. I don't know, but hopefully, like I said, this video will not be monetized. There will never be any ads on it. It's not for my self promotion. This is strictly to try and help move these pieces out. And as I was saying, like it's because his situation really rings true with me, and I hate that he's had to make this decision. And it's that unknown, the unknown parts that weigh on you when you make these decisions. So when I closed my shop, when I made the decision to close my shop, I had like 10 employees. And I just told them, I went to them and told them, look, guys, I physically can't do this anymore. The stress was literally killing me. But I needed them to hang with me until I could get things buttoned up. Well, half of the rats jumped ship. Half of them left immediately, left me high and dry, and half of them stuck with me, and they were my true friends and employees. And it's even little things like that can make these types of decisions extremely excruciating. So if I can do what little bit I can to help close this chapter of Rolley to where the sales are gone, there are no more new sales. All he has to do now is maintain and warranty. Then that's just one less thing that he has to worry about. Excellent job tonight saying what we all think and believe. We need to start working on a legacy Rolley design. What do you think? Yeah. And you know, for a lot of you may know this already, but this is the kind of guy that Leo is. The name Roly. Some of you've heard the story, but when I was the very, very first time I was introduced to Roly, to Leo, I was cautioned about, you know, we don't like this name. Let's get, and this was a third party. Well, let's change the name. Let's talk to him about changing the name. We don't like the name. The Rolley's a stupid name. It just sounds like a toy. It's a dumb name. And so that was at that time, there was, I think, 3 or 4 of us in that conversation. We told him, yeah, the name Roly just doesn't sound like a technical piece of equipment. And he was like, well, first and foremost, the name is what it is. It's going to be that, because Roly is my tribute to my mentor. Roly is the nickname of the man, which was, his name was Roland something. Is his instructor, his teacher, who taught him everything he knew. And this was Leo's tribute to Roland, aka Roly, to say thank you and to pay respect to him for inspiring him, for teaching him. And that is probably one of the biggest reasons why he probably didn't sell the business, because the name meant everything to Leo. The name Roly, not Lasermatic, Roly, is what meant something to him. And he wanted to maintain that integrity of that name. And so, and because of that, if life allows it and he's able to continue the journey he's on now, and it's within his desire or to go back and revisit this, we may actually see Roly, you know, come up out of the ashes. So, you know, well, everyone's going to make the site crash. Well, that's not a bad thing. Does not try step on your content tonight. I mean by copying should. Brad, my stroke is giving me a hard time with reading what you're. Does not try to step on your content tonight. I mean by copying should have explained. Still don't follow that either, Brad. That used to be on their website, so I get why he won't sell. Okay. My aunt had to do the same thing with her travel agency. She was working to keep everyone else afloat to her detriment. And that included family that she employed. Yeah. It's, and sometimes as a business owner, especially when you have employees and their families who are depending on you, you know, a real good boss man, he is going to take the needs of his employees over his own a lot of time, or her own. He'll put their needs over his or her own. A certain person copying your nice stream, aka I meant the Roly name, and why was on Roly's website. Yeah. I said I don't want to talk about anybody. We're talking about Leo, Dimitri, and Roly. 3 really, really good names. Leo, Dimitri, and Roly. And I don't know who Roly is. Never met him. But he's got to be a really good guy and a super intelligent guy, because look at what he produced. He's responsible for the existence of this. So when I say those are 3 really good people, Leo, Dimitri, and Roly, I mean that literally. Those have got to be 3 really, really good people. Greg says Amazon has the 20 watt with the rotary for $9.99. The 20 watt with the rotary Well, and see, don't do that. And this is sorry. Amazon has a 20 watt with the rotary for $9.99. And if I look, 20 watt with the rotary, $8.99 on the Rolley Automation website. $8.99 from direct from Rolley. So buy all your stuff and buy all your stuff because from Rolley Automation. That way, there's no third parties involved. There's no Amazon involved. There's no Hobo with wood involved. I don't know if Clack has a referral for Rolley or not. I bet he does, but don't. And I'm not trying to take anything from Clack, but don't use Clack's referral. Don't use anybody's referral at this time. He's selling these things at a discounted price. And if you use a referral, and somebody's going to be getting commission off of it, unless they stand up like I did and say, "Hey, I don't want commissions off of anything." And I challenge every other content creator out there that has a Rolley Automation referral code to discontinue using that and refuse any future commissions. Challenge you to do that. And Stacy says she'll never regret her purchase. I saw the Roly dedication to Roland years ago. I think it is still there somewhere. Okay. All right. Jack says, use my code. Oh, wait, I ain't got one. So I don't know if Leo will see this. I don't know if he'll watch it. I don't know if he has time. There may, like I said, think about it. He's got so much stuff going on right now in his world and his universe and his, that he can't continue to run his business. Is he going to watch this video? Probably not. But let's do our part to help close these sales chapters and be done with this. And if you don't need one, and if you know of any friends that have looked at your lasers and going, man, I wished I could do that, or I would like to do that, encourage them to pull the trigger and buy that Roly laser, especially if you've got one, because you're going to be able to help them if there's anything that kind of small arises, and you're going to make your friend extremely happy by convincing them to buy the best laser that's out there. The one on Amazon said it was purchased in June of 23. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know if Amazon still got them or not. Don't know. But buy from Rolley Automation right there, rolleyautomation.com. Because I'm sure that if he sells out of everything he's got and he needed to, he could pull that inventory back from the Amazon warehouses and not have to spend any extras if there's anything out there on Amazon. I don't know. I have no idea. Thanks again for everything. I'm using your files even without much changing, but for a while I am in the red, but going to love my new Roly. Yep. Excellent. Biting the bullet, 30 watt XW side exhaust, 2 lenses, extra MB motherboard. There you go. Yep. Excellent. You will not be sorry, Terry. You have my personal guarantee that you're going to be so happy. Now, here, I meant to mention this earlier for you guys that are buying your lasers. When you heard it mentioned, I think it was Wayne that mentioned it a minute ago about how somebody, or no, maybe it was Alex. Alex mentioned this. He said it was so well packed, it was unbelievable. It was extremely well packed, and it will be. It'll be packed in there tighter than any carton of eggs you've ever seen. It'll be packed extremely tight and very well protected. Do not try to lift this laser out of the box by yourself. Don't do it. Most of us are got a couple of years on us, and if you try to lift this out by yourself, you're going to pull something. You're going to hurt something. This is what I do. This is what I recommend you do. Pull the box. Put the box. If you're going to put your laser right here, set that box right up there. And then just kind of tilt it back a little bit and cut the bottom of the tape, the box. Cut the bottom flaps. Pull that flap out. Then roll it back, roll it towards you, roll the other flap out, take the flaps out from underneath, and lift the box off of the packaging. It's so much easier than trying to remove that laser out of the box. Take the box, cut the bottom off, and lift the box off the laser. You won't be sorry. Unless you've got 2 or 3 young bucks standing around there to help you unload it. And even if you did, it's still easier to take the box off than take the laser out. All right. Well, everybody's saying good night to everybody who's signing off. Some people, it's 3 a.m. Jeep says it's 3 a.m. where they're at. Thank you for hanging out, and thank you. And Jay's backing up what I just said. Yes, it is really heavy. And Michael's, I received my 30-watt replacement today, and yes, it's exactly the link you were looking at for $3.99, and it is the 1030. I would include a pic, but you can't on YouTube. Yeah. So excellent. So guys, do your part. If you can't, and it's not, and the wife won't let you, and you just can't pull the trigger right now and get that extra one, or at least consider getting you some spare modules, because the modules are going to burn out. The modules are going to burn out. They are a consumable product. So the machine is going to last you. I would extremely recommend an extra board just in case, and 1 or 2 modules, depending on how long you want to run your Roly. And if you have any friends who are considering it, take any distress out of the equation about Roly being closed, and strongly encourage them to pull the trigger and buy a Roly while they can. All right. So that's it for tonight. I was hoping that we'd have some other guys pop in, but schedules, everybody's got their own world, their own life going on. And I appreciate everybody who did chime in and shared their experiences and their thoughts. And Ray says, I ordered the MK2 XW, 4 lenses, 1 control board, and replacement shroud subassembly. All right, excellent. Did you order that tonight, Ray? Chris says, I would not be surprised if Leo lists who his supplier was if he finally sells out of parts. Yeah. Stacy, you're dating yourself. Stacy says it feels like the Waltons. Good night, you guys. Good night, Grandma. Good night, Mama. Good night, John Boy. Good night. Let's see. Okay, Ray says he bought his tonight. Well, that's awesome. It does. Thank you, guys. Thank you for trusting what I'm telling you. And it's not just me. You heard it from many other people in the chat and those that jumped in the stream. You're not going to regret your purchase. And thank you. Can someone advise me what aluminum piece on this? Can someone advise what that's for the camera wiring? I'm trying to look. I don't know which one you've got, Alex. But the extra piece is for the wiring for the camera. That's the tube you wrap your wiring through. see if the stock levels have dropped. I'll look, and I didn't keep a beginning list, so I don't know how much. Obviously, we've moved some product tonight. Obviously, we have. A lot of people have commented here, and Wayne says I bought one tonight as well. For the fan wiring, okay, but it's either yeah. I got to quit doing that. It's hard on me. I've got the side exhaust on my regular MK2, but I don't have the side exhaust on the XW. And I put it on there, but I forgot. I knew it was for the wiring. It's either for the camera but no, it's for the fan. Oh yeah, don't forget to mention the free shipping as well. Yeah, I mean, free U.S. shipping, except Alaska and Hawaii. Those always get the bum rush. Free shipping for Canada, EU, UK, and Australia. So Alaska and Hawaii are really just the redheaded stepchildren. They should move closer to home. All right. But yeah, it does. I'm sure that Leo will appreciate all of the purchases you guys have done tonight. I appreciate you doing this. And like I said, I'm going to work on, I don't know if it'll turn into an actual rotary, because even if you don't have the Roly, if you're doing engraving on tumblers and you want to know that you're getting stuff lined up specific with a logo, that's what I'm going to be working on the first of this week with an individual one-on-one. And it might turn into a video. And like I said, even though I'll be talking specifically about using it with the Roly and the Roly laser or the rotary, the technique is going to be the same with any rotary using light burn. So it might be a teachable moment. Richard says, I'm ordering my XW now. God bless you and thank you. It is always expensive to go to Hawaii. I wouldn't know. And good night, Dale. And I'm going to wrap this up too and tell everybody good evening. We're right on 2 hours. And thank you all for your support. Thank you for your support. And I didn't mention, I seen a few and I didn't acknowledge it. Who was that? I seen one or two. There it is. Tom, thank you. I normally acknowledge those right away. But I've been really trying to focus tonight on Leo, Dimitri, and Roly, if you hadn't picked up on that. So thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you for going out and doing what you've done tonight and sharing the love with Leo. And everybody have a great night. Have a great week, rest of the weekend. Happy Labor Day, and we'll see you in the next video. Night, everybody. Oh, wait a minute. What was that? Oh, I about missed it. I said good night, but what's this? I'm not sure about the setup guides, where the setup guides taken down from the Rolley website. I have never seen those, Alex. So let's see here. Support. No, they're there. Here, I'm on the Rolley automation support setup guides. Well, home support. Well, there's nothing here after I clicked on it. Refresh. Obviously it's blank, so I don't know what that's about, my friend. There's your web or your page for it, and it's not there. User manual. Yeah, that one. I thought it was there, and we missed it, but no, I don't know why it's not seeing it. Why we're not seeing it. Okay, now make sure I ain't miss something else. Nope. All right. Good night, everybody.